to another episode of the What's Your Motor podcast. With this month being Men's Health Month, I brought on a special guest, a nemesis sometimes on a basketball court, but we forged a great relationship just over the years, whether we ball, chopping it up, and then our kids played together in basketball. So please join me in welcoming my boy B Epps. How you doing, B?
Most definitely. I appreciate you having me here.
For sure.
It's been a time coming.
Yeah.
I've been begging to get out here.
Well, he ain't been begging. His schedule kind of busy.
Yeah, schedule's been conflicted.
He got multiple athletes.
Multiple. I got a couple. 15 years old and 9 years old. And then my daughter, she's upcoming too. She's 4. But
right. And she an athlete in herself.
Yeah. She don't know if she want to play basketball or cheerlead. She be a little bit all over the place. So
she must try to do both.
I believe it. I most definitely believe it for real.
Don't forget about Sun, the little dog.
Oh my God, that man. Listen, he about to come over here with you.
No, I already did a dog sitting bout before. I'm not doing that again. I'm cool.
He's about 3 kids himself.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Nah, listen, he a handful, especially him and my daughter together.
Uh-huh.
You just hear trampling through the house the whole time. Just no sitting down.
I ain't got time for that. How was your Father's Day?
It was good, despite past events.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get past what I endured last year.
Right.
This is the year away, the year from what happened last year.
Right.
This year,
mm-hmm.
I lost my wallet.
So that's funny. That's definitely an inside thing, but for sure, that's lost my wallet is crazy, dog.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's childish too, but
but it happens. It happens. It is what it is.
Right.
But yeah, my Father's Day was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I can't complain about it.
Was you ate good?
Yeah.
Was you kind of like just chill throughout the day?
Pretty.
I know you said you rode your bike or whatever, right?
Yeah, pretty much. What did my day consist of? I pretty much laid around, tried to treat it like a real Father's Day.
Just chill.
Laid around, got up, ran some errands. I was supposed to attend the event, but I didn't. Yes, I did. I just went for a real short period of time. I got the times mixed up. But other than that, Father's Day was cool outside of the event of my wallet.
Right, being lost. Yeah. And I was in Dales for a tournament.
You said that. Yeah, you did.
It became short in the championship, but it's all good.
At least y'all was that. We gonna call it a mini vacation.
Can we call it that when you spending all the money?
Nah.
That was a business trip that had to be financed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all good though. How you feeling today though, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling real energized. I've been doing a lot, making sure I get up. I've been trying my best to get up early and stay up early.
Okay.
I had a knack for get up, kids get together for school.
Mm-hmm.
Lay back down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually up and at it. Mornings now, and it's giving me a whole lot of energy. I'm not a supplement like medicine type person.
Like taker.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of hard for me. Like I done had so many people try to offer like, hey man, you should
take ashwagandha and all this other stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, nah. I'm. But it's crazy because I'm real sensitive to things.
Right.
I'm talking fast. I can take something that my body won't take to, and
you'll get a reaction right away.
So that's why I've been all my life, like, only way I'm taking some type of meds is if I have to get rushed to the hospital. And it's something that they gotta.
Gotcha.
Other than that, if you be like, oh, I got a headache, bro,
So you big into health then?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Now.
Right.
Before I wasn't. Now
how important is that for you now, though? Like, are you working now? Like, what you doing? I know you hoop on Thursdays and stuff like that, and other times during the week.
So I'm getting more into yoga.
Okay.
I do like I'm trying to get myself back into workout. I'm terrible with pushing myself. to work out. I am beyond terrible.
Gotcha.
But I had a scare recently, a few months ago. I was with all three of my kids at a basketball event, and I passed out, and it was due to a lot of different things, my health, stress, and just a lot of different stuff. So that's why these past few months I've been heavy
like locked in.
Yeah, making sure that my health is good, my mental is good. I eating right, I ain't there yet.
Hey, but acknowledgement is the first step.
Yeah.
But just going back, like, what happened when you passed out? Because I know that had to be traumatic for your kids.
Man, I was already going through a lot.
We'll get to that.
So stress was already taking a toll. Not eating, not exercising, not getting my right nutrients in my body.
Rest.
Yeah, I had that morning. I'm like, man, I'm not feeling too good, but I'm pushing.
Gotcha.
Natural. So I'm pushing through. My oldest son, it was MAS, Milwaukee Academy of Science girls playoff game. He like, man, Dad, I want to go see the game. I'm like, man, I don't feel good. I'm like, you know what? Come on, let's go.
Right.
Man, I'm driving. I'm like weary. I'm at the game. So as soon as the game was over with, all I remember saying is, BJ, we got to go. One of the coaches said, he looked at me, and he said, I just reached for a chair and I hit the floor. And next thing you know, I'm in the hospital. I'm like,
what?
They said my son just kept saying, like, I drive him to the hospital. I drive. That messed with my mental. Like, I don't ever want that to happen while I'm with my kids.
Right.
That could have happened somewhere else. Where we traveling somewhere out of state, and we in the middle of nowhere. And, so it's like, I got to really get a hold to my health and my mental.
And what did they say to you? What was the cause? Because I know we talked about it before, but
so in doctor terms, TIA.
Okay.
But in layman's terms, stress stroke.
Yep, a small stroke. A TIA is a small stroke.
Yep. So that was actually my third one. In the past year. Yep, my third one in the past year. And my doctor told me, sit your tail down.
Right. Right.
Take a rest, and you need to take a load off. I've been attending therapy since.
Okay, beautiful.
I started therapy. It's been tremendous.
Okay.
I can say.
For your mental?
Yes.
So before we delve into that, quick question. How hard is it for you to sit your tail down, though, as a man? Because think about it. Like you just told us, 3 kids. 2 of them right now are super, super active in sports. You ripping and running. Oh, Dad, I want to go to the game. I'm really not feeling the best, but come on, BJ, let's go.
Honest?
Yeah, be honest. We got to be real for the people.
It's extremely hard.
Right.
Especially as a black father.
Right.
To 2 young black males coming up.
Is that added pressure for us to be black fathers? Because it's like the narrative is that black fathers are...
It's beyond pressure due to the fact that we want our kids to be better than us. Yep. So we're going to put our kids in every situation and give them every opportunity to be better than us.
This is true.
So it's going to push us to stay on our 10 toes and stay behind them with everything they do and show the support that we need to show in everything they do. Me and my father didn't have the best. My father was incarcerated when I was 2. He got out when I was 9. Only time I saw him is when I visit my grandmother. He lived there.
Right.
So
same me.
when she passed away, it was like I run into him on the street, like, oh, what up? What's up? How you been?
Right.
Then we'd go dry. When I turned, and this was a year after he got out. When I turned 18, me and him gained a relationship that was like unbearable. It was crazy. Like, you would have thought that we didn't ever spend no time away from each other. Like, it was crazy. And then he ended up passing away due to prostate cancer.
Okay. And was that recently?
Stage 4 prostate cancer. No, this was 2012.
2012. Okay.
Yeah. And it was like, dang, I finally felt that love from my dad for 3-4 years, and now he gone. It was crazy.
So, question: he went to jail when you were 2, came back around, got out when you were like 9. Y'all kind of started forging a relationship when you was like 18.
Yeah.
Even as a grown man, did you still feel, when you seen your father, did you still feel like that little boy, like wanted his father?
Yeah.
Yes. I wonder how many people relate to that, because I do.
And it was
even without a relationship.
I used to utilize it. Just going through like relationship stuff and needing somebody, I would literally go to his house. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He will sit on his recliner. He'll grab his drink. I'll lay across the couch and I would talk to him.
So he's your therapist.
I fall asleep.
He was your therapist.
Yep.
Okay, man, that's crazy. That's beautiful, man.
Until I fall asleep. I wake up. He got some cover on me. He done went in his room, and the next morning I got some breakfast or something. Oh, you went to sleep. I gave you some cover.
Man, the power of father, man. I promise you, like, hearing about that just from different people that had a pod, but even from you, at times you feel cheated, especially when you're a young boy.
Yeah. And
when you get older and you get something, like you said, you was able to get a relationship and stuff like that, you realize even more so, like, some people really had it good in terms of having, and sometimes we know, like, some fathers can be in a home, but they might not do nothing.
Yes.
But when you forge a relationship like that, it's just beautiful to see. And I don't think a lot of people hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you was able to say that and walk us through that piece. And then just going back before we continue to go forward, I know you said it's hard to sit down. I know it's hard to do that. And then you went on, as I'm listening, you went on and you kept saying, like, we want to give them the best opportunities, continue to put them in front of the right people, keep them active in all these things. And when you think about that, we do all that. We rushing to get here. We rushing to get, okay, we got it. Nope, us a change of plans. We going to do it. We negating who? Ourselves, right?
Yes, ourselves.
But that's something I think is innate for a lot of men,
Yeah.
Like you, right? So do you feel that, like, when do you really feel exhausted? Or do you not allow yourself to even think about it until it's like the day's end?
So I'm going to be honest. Question people ask on a day-to-day basis. How you feeling? my main comeback
What's your answer, man?
I'm tired. I am tired. But at the end of the day, we can't be. We can't let our tiredness deteriorate us, because if we do, it's gonna take away from the next generation.
Why can't we be tired, B?
We can't, because just look at the statistics of all the fathers that's like, I have to take care of myself still.
Right.
And then look at how their seeds are, children are growing up.
Right.
Don't know they dad, or barely around, or barely can't. My kids work my nerves. I'm talking to the max.
Right.
Day in and day out.
For sure.
But if it's something they need, I'm coming.
For sure.
I'm talking. Dude, my son got to the point where we doing 6 a.m. workouts. Dude, I'm not going to sleep until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And I got to be right back up at 5:30
to take him,
to get him to school. Then I get added to the coaching staff, so now I have to stay.
Stay late.
Normally I can drop him off and I can go home. Now I gotta get up 5:30, about 5:15, get him to get us to practice.
Mm-hmm.
We get to practice. We in practice until school starts, so about 7:30, 8.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go home. I try to get me at least an hour or two of sleep. My body naturally won't let me sleep past 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it's really like once I done got home and got in the shower, I'm finna probably sleep for like 30 minutes, and that's if I don't have any work to do.
There you go.
So
yeah, cause especially with you running your own business and stuff like that, right?
Listen,
and I know we didn't talk before. Plenty of people, try to schedule some crazy times with you and stuff like that. So you're working on a regular.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot, man. So I know this past year, while our sons were still playing ball, your mom passed.
Yeah.
Just recently, something happened with your uncle.
Yeah.
Talk to us about just what happened to your moms and your relationship with your moms.
So tomorrow marks a year.
Mm-hmm.
June 20th.
Dang, that quick.
Yeah, marks a year. The day I won't ever forget.
Oh yeah. Talk to him.
Pretty much, it was. Well, I can't say pretty much. Me and my mom we had an unbearable relationship. She worked my nerves as well because my mom was like beyond stubborn.
Okay.
Beyond stubborn. I know this, and this is what I mean, and this is what I ain't listening to nothing else.
Got you.
It was me and my mom all my life.
Right.
I had
Same here.
I have older siblings, 2 brothers on my dad's side I never met. I met them, but I was probably about 1 or 2. My sister, she's nowhere to she's nowhere to be found.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say it like that.
Okay.
So pretty much it was me and my mom.
Gotcha.
Sister was always running away from home, so it literally was me and my mom. Great relationship. My mom had her things. She she loved to gamble, Potawatomi,
Gotcha.
stuff like that. I didn't like it, but hey, that's her fun.
Right, she did
Cool.
dope.
Okay, cool. That's a lot of my parents' flaws is what made me who I am today. But one thing I can say about my mom, she did a extravagant job raising me.
Gotcha.
She was getting up in age. My mom was a heavy smoker, real heavy smoker.
Okay.
She had her first heart attack when I was 13.
Okay.
And I remember I lived on 19th and Chambers at the time.
Okay.
And someone was like, man, your mom in the hospital. She just had a heart attack. She's at St. Joseph. And I'm asking, like, can y'all take me to the hospital?
Right.
Everybody like, we ain't got no way. I literally ran from 19th and Chambers all the way to St. Joseph and snuck in the hospital.
51st and Burleigh.
51st and Burleigh at the age of 13. Snuck in the hospital through, it's a door in the underpass. It was a door right there that was cracked open, and I snuck in the hospital because it was real late, and they were saying that she couldn't have visitors. And I snuck, like, dude, y'all crazy if y'all think I'm not finna come see my mom.
Right.
So that was her first heart attack, and as the years went on, like they kept telling her mom, stop smoking. I mean, you need to cut back on not even cut off on the nicotine. So my mom wasn't, I can say a few times she tried.
Right.
I'm not a smoker, a drinker, or none of that sort. So I can't say I know what the addiction is like.
Right, what it feels like.
But I'm pretty sure it's something serious.
It's a hold on you.
So she wouldn't, and it was taking a toll on her.
Gotcha.
Later down the line, she had another heart attack Then she also found out she was a diabetic. So as that's going on, like my mom, she and to jump forward a little bit and then to go back, when it got to the point where I had to clean my mom's apartment out,
Mhm.
I'm finding meds, brand new, never sealed, never cracked, dated back to 2012, 2013. So my mom was another one. She like, I'm not taking no meds. So now rewind back this on June 20th of last year. I'll go into the events of actually June 16th. Which was a Friday. I picked her up from home.
Yeah.
Took her to get all her normal stuff situated because the month before that, Mother's Day, we spent in the hospital.
Gotcha.
She was in ICU due to having a stroke.
Gotcha.
I got a phone call. She like, I fell. Oh,
I remember that. I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
I'm gone. Hey, y'all got the police. Y'all got to trail me there. I got to.
Right.
Mom said she on the floor. So when I get there, building manager, real familiar, know my mom stay by herself. So if I need to get in,
Right.
I have good access. Get in to my mom's unit. She's laying on the floor. I'm like, Mom, what's going on? Pick her up, put her on the couch. She's like, no, I was trying to get up and I fell. As soon as she started talking, I seen her face. So I turned to the building manager like, she having a stroke. So can you call the ambulance, police department, have the ambulance come. I'm like, Mom, what was you trying to do? She was trying to get to the bathroom. So we get her to the bathroom and get her back. And she just kept saying, just let me go to sleep. Just let me go to sleep. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Let me go to sleep. And I'm going to touch on that too. I'm like, Mom, no, you got to get to the hospital. She was extremely upset with me. My mom hated hospitals. Get her to the hospital. They like, she got a blood clot, small little blood clot in her head, and they just need to make a small incision. My mom wasn't with she wasn't with the knife. So they like, well, she's not in the right state of mind to make that decision. We need the next person.
Right.
So I'm like, it's a hard decision for me because I know my mom is like, she hates surgeries.
That's a tough decision to make.
They also like, dude, the surgery gonna take all of 5 minutes. It's literally, we gonna make the smallest incision. We gonna like,
right.
So I'm like, okay, well, tell me. They was like, hey, listen, we make the incision, we clear up the stream. There's a 50% chance that there's 50-50 that things can go back the way it was, or she can get better.
She can improve.
If we don't, she's not gonna improve
at all.
So I'm like, go ahead.
50-50.
Go ahead and do the incision. My mom gave me this look in her eyes like, boy, I just turned around and walked out. So we end up spending Mother's Day in the hospital. Now coming up to that next month, like I said, June 16th, I picked her up that morning. We went around because in my head, I'm like, it's not good that you stay alone. I know I can't be here 24/7.
Absolutely.
So we need to get you in a senior home to where you still have your freedom, but you know,
your independence.
People gonna check on you here and there because they know they need to. Got all her stuff situated, had her check, all her stuff was packed in her living room, ready to go. That next week, I dropped her off at home, and last thing she was like, "I love you, son." I'm like, "All right, Ma, I love you. See you later." She walked in her building. The rest of that day, I'm like, I ain't hear from her. Okay, cool. Saturday come, I didn't hear from her. In the world? Okay. Call, no answer. My mom, she getting these spills where she don't feel like talking or she mad. She ain't.
Same here. I go through the same thing. So love moms, but yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this one day went by. Sunday, I'm at Sunday was Father's Day. I'm at All County. chilling, call, no answer, no answer. Like, dude, what's going on?
Right.
Okay, like my mom, I don't care how mad she
Right,
is,
like,
she's gonna call me and
eventually,
say Happy Father's Day.
you ain't that
For
mad.
sure. Didn't happen. I'm like, Monday come Juneteenth. She had a doctor's appointment that day. I'm down at Juneteenth with a friend of mine. Mom and sister had a booth down, so I'm sitting down there with them.
Mm-hmm.
I call her again, no answer. Call her again, no answer. I'm like, okay. I know she knows she had a doctor's appointment because I told her. I'm the one that set it up because they called me because she had been not setting up her appointments.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is why she not answering. Next day, went downtown to the market, had lunch, like grabbed me a bite to eat at the market. As I'm leaving the market, I'm headed to get my son because he had a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm driving through the east side, and I get on the phone with my kid's mom, and I'm like, can you have your mom take Bryce to his game?
Right.
I need to go check on my mom.
Right.
Because I haven't heard from her.
Right.
So I go, I double back over to her apartment, and I asked the building manager, like, you seen my mom? She like, no, not since Friday when I dropped her off. And I'm like, oh, okay. She was like, you need me to go up with you? I'm like, no, she probably up there asleep. Go up, I'm knocking on the door. I'm on the phone with a close friend of mine. I'm knocking on the door. And I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I hear a TV on. I don't hear nothing else. I'm waiting to hear if I hear anything.
Right.
So I'm like, let me call her phone. See if her phone rings. She keep her ringer on. Man, I called her phone, and it's like the phone rung so loud. It was like screaming, get in this house.
It's crazy.
I immediately start trying to kick the door in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the second floor all the way at the end of the hallway. Security come up like, what's going on? I'm like, dude, y'all better come open this door. Otherwise, y'all gonna need some hinges. I ain't gonna lie, that door was tough.
The door won.
The building manager, the door most definitely won. Building manager, she actually heard it as well, so she was coming up before he went back down. She unlocks the door. Now my mom lived alone,
right?
So she was like real superstitious with like she would barricade herself in.
Got you.
If she like once she's in for the night,
that's it.
She'd put things in front of the door.
Right.
So older lady, building manager, she tried to push the door open and she couldn't. Excuse me. In my head, I'm already like, this ain't finna be good. I'm talking from the second I heard her phone ring. I said to my friend of mine, like, dude, I hope I'm not finna
right
see what I'm thinking.
Right.
So soon as she couldn't open the door, I'm like, let me do it. Open. I bust the door open. Soon as I opened the door, I seen her laying on the couch. I just screamed out, "Ma!" extremely loud. No movement. I knew. And as I came around the her
barricade, whatever
thing, I saw it. It was, you can tell she had been there for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I walked over to her and I just dropped down.
Right.
I couldn't even. So the building manager, she called the police. It was a wrap for me.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was beyond.
Because I remember Daphne kind of telling us, like, something happened.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You and I ended up talking, but just hearing that whole story and just the phone, you know what I mean? You saying your mom's name, you just getting that feeling.
Yeah.
And then for you just think about you calling and being like, can somebody else take Bryson to, I need to go check on my mom's real quick, and that's crazy. And that was just last year. I didn't realize that was just quick.
Just a year ago. And it's and to go back from beyond that is I still had to go with my day to day.
Right.
Like just like we were just talking about, like when people like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm tired.
Right.
I still had to work. I still had to get my kids to where they need to be. I still had to make sure my daughter was, I still had to move her. I didn't have a chance to like
stop.
But it's building up. Like all that is building up and it's weighing down so heavy.
Right.
I can't even think straight. So it's like I think I'm doing this right, but my mind's so conflicted. I ain't.
And it's tough on the mental. And for you to experience that, see that your loved one, and then be like, I still gotta go about my day to day. I gotta figure out these arrangements for my mom's. And I gotta clean out her apartment.
And not the person that I am and have been most of my life. At that time, a lot of people didn't even know. I was like dang near homeless.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy, like going through
transition.
Yeah. Relationship stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I didn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
And in the midst of that, before that, I was coming up on that event, staying with a friend of mine, and his wife just randomly one day, like, dude, get the heck out of my house. Just random.
Right.
Like, it was crazy. And that put me in a situation to where it's like, dang, where I'm going to go?
Right.
Damn, the situation with my mom.
Right.
Now, it's like, I end up moving into my mom. Well, I didn't move into my mom's place, but I'm like, I ain't got nowhere to go.
Right.
The door is open.
Right.
I got to clean it out. I have to clean it out. So that
mentally
made things 10 times worse because I'm sleeping in the very place, or trying to sleep in the very place that I just found my mom.
They say when it rains, it pours.
Man, listen, when it rains, it pours, and I don't think some people understand that.
Mm-hmm.
People handle things differently.
For sure.
I can't say how someone else would have handled that situation.
Right. Because they could have broke.
And it was times where I almost did break.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. Now, again, I'm staying in this place where I found my mom. Still working. Still, tending to my... At that time, me and my oldest we ain't had a best relationship because of a prior situation that happened.
Right.
And me being me, I was going through a lot already. I'm trying to teach him a lesson.
Right.
Which I shouldn't have been.
We talked about that.
And it's crazy because it was hurting me trying to teach him a lesson because I'm not talking to my son.
For sure.
My firstborn.
Yes.
We not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
So I'm enduring so much and it's tearing me up. I had my first TI. That's when I end up I couldn't I was bottling it in. I wasn't, me and you would sit at the practices and I'm talking the whole time. Chop it up.
Yeah, we chopped it up. We had a lot of sessions.
Chop it up. And it's like, I needed that.
For sure.
I needed to let that stuff out because I had so much stuff in.
Right.
And I still wasn't letting everything out.
No, for sure.
So it's like, I still had so much stuff bottled in.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I'm talking 1,000-pound weights.
Right.
Holding me down.
So what was the point where you was like, I'm going to therapy? Because a lot of people still, you got people that are really, really for it, and then you got some people like, man, I don't need no therapy. I don't need to talk. So I call it one of the boys, which is good sometimes too, but What made you be like, you know what, I'm going to therapy. I need to get this stuff off my chest. I need to get better.
So, it was a various of different things. Growing up, I learned, and I got this from therapy. Also, got this from someone else, that a lot of my motion of movement be like survival.
Yep.
I didn't have the best. I didn't have the most money. My mom didn't have the most money. My mom wasn't really like a name brand fanatic.
Got you.
Coming up, she was Kmart, Payless.
Sometimes Goodwill.
Yeah,
Just keep it funky.
Like seriously. So I'm it. I had to become independent early, because listening to my sister early on, that was a big thing in her life, being talked about at school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so she low self-esteem, running away from home. I can't really say I've ever had low self-esteem.
Gotcha.
But I learned this recently. I did get to the point where I used to do a lot of things to fit in. Like, oh, I want nice shoes so these people can approve of me.
Oh, a
Oh,
lot of insecurities. You was insecure.
Yeah. I feel like, oh, I gotta wear some Jabot jeans
For sure.
to rock with this crowd.
Absolutely.
To be popular.
Exactly.
And I thought that for a long. I gotta have the nicer things to be able to
be accepted.
And the crazy part about it, that only bring in acceptance from the wrong
people, the wrong individuals, for sure.
So, I recently learned that, and what made me get into therapy, relationship. I was going through it, relationship wise, and I had things that were not helping me be the best that I can be.
Okay.
Relationship wise.
Gotcha.
And I caused a lot of friction in, my relationship. And it was bringing out things that I needed to get in tune with. It was brought to light that I need to touch on some things and figure some things out. And I took the initiative and said, let me go. Let me give me some therapy, because like childhood traumas and lack ofs with my dad, lack ofs with my mom, ways that I think now are ways that I was thinking into my adult years, and ways that I was moving wasn't helping certain situations.
Gotcha.
So I and also too, I needed a unbiased
opinion.
Like, yeah, my boys are gonna give it to me straight, but sometimes it's sugarcoating. That's with everybody. Like with friends, we know, hey, I don't care how much you come at me with this. I know not to touch on that subject because I know how sensitive it is for you.
Absolutely.
And that's with everybody. There's no one out here that can't say the same thing. Like, I have friends that if they talk to me about something, yeah, they may criticize certain things, but some things they're not going to touch because they feel like, man, dude, too sensitive to that, and I know I don't feel like dealing with it.
He might not want to hear me. I don't feel like going back and forth.
Yeah. So they not going to touch on it.
Right.
Same thing, with you. Same thing with women. Same thing with kids. It's natural. It's not nothing that's. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
But it's also not necessarily a good thing.
Right. And it's predicated on our relationships. and how we, we grew with one another, how we talk, and the rapport that we got. So it'd be like, yeah, I could talk about that. We could talk about that. Let's provide guidance with that. But I might not be that person to actually get through on this potential piece.
Yeah.
So how is therapy, since you've been in it, how has it, what have been the benefits for you?
It has opened my eyes a lot, um, a whole lot. Recent, like I say, relationship. I kind of had I ain't gonna say a bad ending,
Mm-hmm.
but when the separation happened,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of was just throwing stuff out there, and it's I was being somebody that I wasn't because of all the stuff that I had bottled in, and going forth, just thinking about it, I said I need. It wasn't one of those like I need some help.
Right, right.
But I needed some help.
Yeah.
I needed an unbiased opinion. I needed someone that doesn't know me and is gonna give it to me the
Right.
real.
Right. That don't know anything, that can't
sugarcoat.
Exactly.
Or I know he's soft on this subject, so I'm gonna be.
Right.
I don't get me wrong. Now my therapist sometimes I'll be like, "What you say to me?" But
But it's helpful.
It's extremely helpful. I am, as of now, a firm believer of people. Therapy is not as bad as some people think.
Right.
Some people, man, I ain't finna go.
Yeah.
Random person, my bitch.
Yeah.
Man, listen, that's what they go to school for.
That's the number one thing people say, though, right?
Yes, 100%. It's a stranger, but at the end of the day, they're not gonna sugarcoat, and they're actually gonna help you to navigate
Right.
through the places that you need.
Mm-hmm.
You will type in, if you don't know how to get to Chicago, you gonna type it in your GPS.
Right.
You gonna trust your phone, and sometimes Siri will send you off.
Right. See you all the way up in circles.
Why not? You
Right.
know, why not go to therapy and trust the therapist to navigate? Like, I got a board in my room.
Mm-hmm.
My therapist had me draw a stop sign,
Mm-hmm.
and for each letter, she had me put down some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I literally got it right. So before I even walk out of my door, out of my room,
Right.
I look at it. When I walk in my room, as soon as I turn around, I look at it. Like, she has helped me a whole lot, and that's why the other day when the situation happened with my wallet,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. It was.
You didn't tweet.
I was pissed in the moment,
Right.
but as soon as it was over, I was like,
You didn't tweet because it's just like, what I'm gonna do?
well, what am I gonna do? It's gone. The situation happened.
It's gone. They
All I
spent
can do
$10.
is-
They try to
is
give me for
go.
$2,700. It's
Man,
over with.
Listen, I'm talking them transactions was ding ding. I'm just looking at my phone like.
And I mean, the therapist, they don't know anything about you until you come in there. So once you come in there, it's just they listen to straight facts, no feelings attached, right?
But the honest only way therapy will work is if you be fully transparent.
100%.
Fully transparent. You can't.
Is that hard? Is it hard to tell another person that you don't know everything? I'm talking about flaws and alls, what you done did wrong, how you done treated people, how people done treated you, how you may have been struggling. You know what I mean? That's a lot to unload and disclose to somebody. So I think that's what a lot of people have problems with therapy, because like, I got to disclose everything about me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you know we got some ugly secrets. Everybody got some ugly secrets. And having to tell somebody that.
So with me, I kind of was a little picky.
Right.
Like you have people that call a place. Hey, I need a therapist. They set you up with somebody.
Right.
I called a close friend of mine. His wife was actually. I heard her in the background. I'm like, hey, ask your wife. Does she know of any good therapists? Because I know that they, she connected me because she know me. So she, no, I'm not. Don't send me nobody my age. Don't. I want someone seasoned.
Yeah. For sure.
Older.
For sure.
Older male, older woman. African American. And that's what I got. I got a African American woman, older. She's probably late or early 50s.
Okay.
Mid 50s, early 50s.
So a vet for sure.
Says she been doing it for 27 odd years. Cool. Me opening up to her was a little more comfortable because of the way I looked at it. I looked at it as grandmother, mother.
I was
figure.
just about to say that. You had to look at her like granny.
But I ain't gonna say I tricked myself, but that's what I gave myself because I don't want to be like, oh, she look like a grandma.
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
To make it offensive.
Right.
But she gave me that warm welcome to where I gave, like, because I still to today, I wonder where would my life be if my grandmother didn't pass away when she did. So I know if I had those conversations with my dad, them conversations with my grandmother would have been, me and my grandmother would have been like extremely
close.
Because that's how we was when I was young. I'm talking any days I was out of school, I was 90% with my grandmother.
Gotcha.
So me and my grandmother would have been extreme. I was really her only grandchild. My dad, he has 2 siblings, which is my uncle that live in St. Louis. And my aunt, she lives here, but neither one of them have kids.
Gotcha.
So outside of my dad's 3 kids, when my dad got incarcerated, his wife took the boys to South Carolina.
Okay.
She never saw him again.
Okay.
So I'm
her only
grandkid.
I got you.
So we were extremely tight. So that's how I took to
your therapist.
Yeah, and
that's
I
real.
Opened up, and I when I opened up, and it was like it just. Yeah, sometimes I was a little nervous about saying certain things, and sometimes I get timid, or she'll say something to me, and I'll be like, "Man, I'm not trying to hear that. Like,
right?
I don't want to hear that.
Right?
Like, I want it, but that's what it's for. It's not for me to hear what I want to hear."
And does she help you separate your emotions from your logic?
That's what the board is.
Oh,
that's what the board is.
For real?
That board,
yeah. Your emotions from your logic, man.
It's what gives me anxiety, real bad anxiety. What triggers my emotions? Like, this is what this board is.
That's beautiful. I always heard that you need to be able to, regardless of what's going on, stressful situation, you gotta be able to think past your emotions. As tough as that is, being able to separate your emotions from, okay, what do I need to do logically in here? How should I really assess this situation? And especially for a man, because they say we're supposed to be more logic based.
And that's what I was about to say. It's easy. It's a million times easier said than done.
I would agree.
As again, a male figure that has so much going on. So much to deal with, so much weight on his back, you might not even know the smallest little thing can make, like, I'm talking, you can see a grain of salt, a grain of rice right here on the floor, and it's like,
you ready to set the fire ablaze? What's
going
on?
You ready to blow a gasket. And all you really got to do is just bend down and grab it.
Okay, so a follow up question to that then. So when we think about that, and like you said, it's probably a million times harder to think past your emotions in that moment when you got all this baggage and stuff on you, right? Especially when it's sitting right there in your chest, and any little thing can set you off.
Yeah.
Do you think? Because I've been reading a little bit and been watching a little stuff. Do you think us being raised predominantly by our mothers, single mothers, right? Do you think that plays a part in some of our emotional, impulsive reactions? Are we a little bit more emotional because of that, as opposed to if we may have had some kind of guiding light with a father being, there, or even a father figure, somebody to really like guide that, like, hey boy, get out your chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
right,
having
right,
that
right,
growing
right,
up. What do
right.
you think?
So, to piggyback on that, I've been attending church
Hmm.
every Sunday since January of 23.
Okay.
So year and a half now. Every
Okay.
Sunday.
Where
Every
you
Sunday.
go?
I go to Evolve.
Okay.
Shout out to Pastor Ken and the Evolve Nation over there.
Okay.
Um, he had an extremely great service
Okay.
this past Sunday,
Hmm.
and it was about statistics on. It was about Father's Day,
Hmm.
for sure, and the statistics on being raised by one parent household,
Hmm.
2 parent household,
Hmm.
or being raised by father,
Yep.
being raised by mother.
Yep.
The studies show being raised by either from what he presented,
Okay.
statistics show that being raised in a household with just a father is better than mom being raised in the house with just a mom, and also being raised in the household with mom and dad.
You trying to get me ate up?
Listen, man.
Because people about to go crazy about that.
Listen.
But I appreciate the sentiment. Keep going.
Listen, I'm talking.
It's that dialogue.
It. Man, when I say he be,
Hmm.
his word be. It's like he be right here
Right.
talking. I'm like he's sitting next to me talking to me. It done been times where I sat there
Uh-huh.
and I felt like he was talking to me so much. I'm in church like dropping. Like talk to me.
Hit home. Talk
To me. I hear you.
It's hitting home.
And it's like I can't like I say, relationship stuff. No matter what, I'm going to be there for my kids.
Right.
No matter what, I'm going to.
Right.
The thing is, you just have to build the healthiest co-parenting situation. Don't get me wrong. The mother of my kids, she a great mom.
Right.
She parent different than I parent.
Mm-hmm.
So in the events of going back to the initial question, I didn't have that male figure. So now this is off. I mean, a derailer.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a lesbian woman.
Okay.
So she was more of the man.
Got
like
you.
stood,
Okay.
So
I think I do remember you telling me that.
it was like she tried to fill that void of the man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you can't. Like you can you can be out here moving and grooving like a dude or whatever the case is, and like I grew up different woman coming in and out. My mom partying.
Right.
I'm waking up the next morning. Mom's been out,
Right.
gone. She know I'm gonna get up and go to school the next morning.
Right.
I'm talking at a young age.
Right.
6, 7, 5. So I'm not even knowing if I wake up and my sister gonna be there. She might have ran away from home.
Right. Right.
So it was like me, honest, man, I raised myself. Tough to say.
Right.
A lot of stuff I learned was from myself.
Right.
I didn't get, with my grandmother, I got that love and that nourish.
Right.
From my mom, I'm putting a roof over your head. I'm putting these cheap clothes on your back.
You got something to eat.
You got something to eat. You good. You good. I'm living my life.
Right.
I ain't. I'm cool.
Right.
Like I'm living my life. So, like again, my dad in them early years, my dad was incarcerated, so I saw him once every other month.
Every blue moon.
When my grandmother used to take me to see him.
Right.
So, what I got accustomed to early was weird. Like, I see my dad in this facility. I'm at home. I'm seeing
all kinds of stuff.
I'm talking mom's coming. It got to a point where I used to sleep on the couch so I can see
what was going on.
I'm a little boy.
Right.
I'm peak. Like,
impressionable mind. I'm trying to see what's going on.
They coming in half.
Right.
Oh, my little boyfriend.
Yeah.
Come give me a hug. So it was like,
come give me a hug is crazy.
I dealt with a lot of I didn't get that tough side. Like teach you how to be tough. I just learned it.
Right.
Like, it just naturally in me. Born and raised on the east side of Milwaukee. So my mom's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My dad's from East St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
So it's like I got the country Bama folk.
The country Bama folk.
The both of them is from some of the most dangerous places on this
in the
circle,
States, for sure.
So
for sure.
it's in me, but it's like I done seen my mama choke dudes and
right.
stand on, you know what I'm saying? When my dad did get out, I see my dad like
right.
I'm cool on that. That's like, y'all tripping.
For sure.
But I didn't like my grandmother. I ain't get that nurse. With my grandmother, that's the only place I got the nurse.
Right.
From. So once she passed away, it was like, ain't no more of that. There was no more of that. I never forget one of my mom's best friends passed away. I was really close with her. My mom had told me, like, Wanda passed. They found her XYZ, blase, blase. And I'm sitting at the end of her bed, and I start crying. And I don't know if she forgot that she told me that, but she was like, "The fuck is you crying for? Get out of my room." I'm like, "Hey." I'm like, I want to say 11 at the time.
Right.
I'm like, damn.
Like it's like that.
Like I can't express myself. So that it's things like that made it hard for me to express myself and open up about things. I'm like, I expressed myself and I got handled real rough at a time like that. So it's like
especially being that young,
better to just bottle things in. And then enduring a lot of things throughout my life. I'm black sheep. Like I'm talking, I done been, man, listen, I done heard everything from you gonna be in jail, you gonna be dead, you gonna be a bum, you ain't gonna have this, you keep doing this, you ain't gonna. And the killer part about it, only thing I was doing was getting bad grades in school. I wasn't running around
Right.
like selling,
Right.
stealing, robbing, breaking in,
Right.
beating up people, like
Right.
trying to like holding gun. Like
Right.
I wasn't doing none of that.
Right.
Only thing I was doing was getting bad grades in school. And for me to constantly hear, like,
I ain't even that bad
I ain't even that bad
compared to some of these people that's around me.
Listen,
That's crazy.
I ain't even gonna touch on how the people around me doing it,
Right.
you know. So
no, for sure.
but it's yeah. My mom, it's a difference
Right.
between mom and dad.
No, for sure.
Majorly.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. So I got one last question. So when we think about just like everything you went through the past year, growing up, all the stuff you've been through and stuff and things like that. And of course, you're a stand-up father, a day one that's always like super involved with his kids. Again, like you said, working with your children's mom, working a co-parent dad, working on relationships, working on yourself. What's your motive for all that?
Man, my main thing is I just want to see my kids benefit from everything that they can. I didn't have my dad. If I even had my dad or my mom to just get me places. As you know, I was the ultimate, like the smallest jumper.
Yeah, you definitely had
around.
house, B. You definitely had house.
And I can tell people where it came from. I rode a bike everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. My mom wasn't giving me bus fare.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my dad wasn't around, so it wasn't like I could call him.
Right.
I need to. So I remember a friend of mine. He had a bike in his basement, and he let me have it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were young. His mom hopped on his tail about it.
Mom didn't play about that, giving away nothing.
Listen, but he let me have it, and I rode that bike until the wheels fell off. Like seriously, and my main grind be my kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main thing. Yeah, I do wanna some point, have a family, like, get married and all those things, and show my kids a nurture, a nurturing side to where like a full dynamic household.
For sure.
But I say that in the most respectable way to their mom. Like there's not saying that we didn't have that. We just had our
right for sure. You guys had the differences, right?
Now, me on the relationship side, that I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy is helping me get in tune with some things. Like mentally, this last year and a half, close to 2 years, it's been extremely rough. My son relationship was rocky. Going into my mom, going into not having a place to live, going into finding a place, and then you gotta furnish a whole entire house to your best liking, for the comfortability for yourself and your kids. Like, that's one thing everybody kept telling me, like, dude, just take your time. And I'm like, I can't. My kids. I want my kids to be comfortable. That's all I was thinking about. I want my kids to be comfortable. I want my kids to be comfortable. I gotta get they like, dude, I'm telling you, just do one room at a time. Don't break yourself and this, that, and I had, I'm talking, I emptied. And when I say homeless, I'm gonna say in the most respectable way. I'm not the type of person to be, hey, can I live with you? Can I live with you? Can I live with you? So it was one of those situations. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I
could have went somewhere, but you didn't want to be. You want to feel like a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it came time to, and I got my place, and it's like I gotta get all this right now because of my kids. If it was me by myself, man, I would have threw an air mattress in the living room
and got it bit by bit
and worked it out. But
for them kids,
I got 3 kids.
For them kids,
we gon' go
for them kids.
And let me say that in the humblest way. We're gonna go. I can't speak for everybody, which is not a good thing, but we don't know everybody's situation,
which is true.
Sometimes that's why, since I've been going to therapy, I've learned that as well. Cause I always look, man, I don't mess with deadbeat dads.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not cool with deadbeat dads. I ain't, but I have to. I've been doing some reading. I've been doing some, dialoguing, and everyone's situation is not the same, because that's just like with me, and I have to look at my dad. God rest his soul. It wasn't that he didn't want to be in his boy's life.
Mm-hmm.
Their mom took them away. And when he did become unincarcerated, he couldn't find them.
Right.
So he went through measures trying.
Mm-hmm.
When he did, he reached out. They didn't reach out back. So it was one of those situations to where it's like,
what do I do?
What do I do? So that's everybody's situation is different. So right. I can't sit here and be like, oh, you don't take care of your kids.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Now, if you tell me why.
Now, if you relay that, you
right now,
man,
for sure.
I got too many. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Or that's your, man, I can't keep a job. Certain situations is like, dude.
No, for sure.
Come on now.
No, for sure.
So yeah, it's all about like I say, I endured a lot. My mom, from my son to my living to my mom. Also my kids' other grandmother passed away 6 months after my mom passed away, and I looked at her as a mother figure. So I'm
a lot of death.
A lot of death. Then recently, my uncle had a scare to where he had to go get admitted for a triple bypass.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's the day we were supposed to meet. That was the original day we were supposed to pod.
Yeah.
He got excuse.
So it's coming up on that in the last maybe 2 years. Man, I've been walking with 10 toes down, but I've been letting my feet and the days take me. I don't know where I've been going. I don't know what I've been saying. I don't know
physically
what I've
you
been
here,
doing.
but
mentally I was extremely gone.
Yeah.
And I'm talking with my relationship, with my kids. I just knew.
You just on autopilot.
Certain things is just automatic. So it's like, but certain stuff I was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you hear that from a lot of men, man, and that's just so crazy that like the stories are different, but the mentality be the same. And for you to just, because I know a lot of people when he just mentioned about he been 10 toes down. He been going through the motions physically, but mentally he ain't even been there. He just been on autopilot. Think about when you go somewhere and you driving somewhere, and you don't even know how you got there. You end up being there. I done did that so many times, and I'd be like, I'm here. I don't know how I got here.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
I'm talking literally hands on the wheel, and I don't text and drive.
Right.
Situation years ago, it wasn't an accident or nothing. I actually was texting and driving, and when I looked up, someone was on a high-speed chase from the police, and the car was coming directly at me. And if I didn't look up when I did, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Got you.
But that right there, if I stop at a light and I can check my phone, then I will. But texting and driving, no. Now, with that, it has been times and still to today, and it scares me to if it blow me to the point to where I start like dude. It done been times I would go from just say 51st and Capitol to 80 something at Capitol, and I'd be like, dude, I don't remember getting this far.
Yes.
I don't remember seeing no street. I don't remember stopping at a light. I don't remember seeing the car in front of me. I don't, like, how did I make it this far? I don't remember. I would literally pull over, either if permitted, get out and catch some air, and like, I know people probably look like, what in the world is dude doing? But like, I would get out and just stand to the side, or I'd walk to the corner, and then I'd come back, like,
to lock back in.
Because
tap in reality.
That's scary.
Because you be in the twilight.
That's scary.
That's super scary.
I was on the phone just yesterday with a friend of mine, and he was like, hello? I said, bro, I heard everything you saying, but I was gazed.
Gone somewhere else.
I was gazed. But we have so much. Mm-hmm. But that's what we have to understand. It ain't going to ever be a time where we don't have a lot going on. We just have to learn
how to manage it,
navigate it, and slow down at least. Because stopping ain't going to happen. We can't.
Yeah.
We just have to. We got to know how to slow down.
Right. Man, well, B, I appreciate you coming through and being so transparent, especially with the viewers and things like that. It's been a lot. Obviously, we talk on a regular, so I'm just my hope is that a lot of the viewers understand and start resonate with this. And not even just for Men's Health Month, but just for men in general, man. Because I think, no disrespect, but I think like Father's Day would be kind of like looked over. The men sometimes get looked over, and I'm not trying to gripe about it, but you know how it goes. So appreciate you pulling up. Tell them where they can find you though, because I know you more of a TikTok guy, I think. But B got his own business too.
Yes.
So tell them about that before we get out of here.
So I have a business in the dedication of me and my kids. It's 4B's Tinting. The name come from me and my kids, 4B's. If you know me, you know please don't take it the wrong way. I call my kids by numbers. Sometimes I say 1, 2, 3, which is 1 being my oldest, 2 being my second oldest, 3 being my youngest. All of our names start with B. Mm-hmm. Brian Jr., Bryson, and Brielle. I'm also on Instagram at B Epps. I think it's one. It's just B Epps. B Epps, B_Epps,
okay.
1 on Instagram. Also, just Brian Epps on Facebook. And then my business page on Instagram for my tent business is for the number 4, the letter B, the letter S _tinting. If you're looking to get your car or house or even building establishment tinted. Yeah, those are all of my platforms. I'm on TikTok too at B_Epps. My son made me a TikTok, and then I start liking it,
messing around with it.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure all your handles are either in the video or I'll be inviting you as a collaborator on the reels and stuff like that. So, thanks B for coming through. Appreciate you. We finally did it. We've been conversing about trying to get this on together for a couple months now.
It's been a time coming.
But I'm glad he got to come through. So until next time, what's your motive?
Most definitely.